Do you know why it's so hard to stop overeating? It's because your strategy usually consists of hoping that you have enough willpower to not overeat. Guess what? Not doing something is not a strategy. In this video, I'm going to talk about what you can do instead of dieting and instead of sitting on your hands and hoping you can be strong, so that you can actually take the power away from food and from your cravings and stop overeating. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Melissa McCreery, and if you're new here, I'm a clinical psychologist and the author of the Emotional Eating Rescue Plan for Smart, Busy Women. I help high performers break cycles with overeating, overload, and overwhelm. Let's be honest. Most weight loss plans or most intentions to get healthy, they're fueled by willpower and a long list of things that you're going to expect yourself to do and not do and stay strong enough to stick with. Here's the thing about willpower. It doesn't work. Because no matter how strong and how determined and how motivated to be strong you are, willpower is something that comes in limited supply and it always runs out. I want you to also think about the reasons that you tend to overeat. When you're tired or you've had a long day, when your to-do list is 1,000,000 miles long, isn't that when overeating tends to show up, or you tend to blow all those intentions you laid out on Sunday night? Plans that are based on willpower tend to fail exactly when we need the willpower the most. And also, plans that require us to be constantly vigilant and on and full of strength and fortitude, they're not very fun, and they tend to be really, really hard. And let's be honest, diets don't work either. They tend to focus on what to eat and when to eat and how much to eat, but they don't begin to address the reasons that you want to overeat. The situations, the feelings, the stress that is triggering your hunger and your cravings in the first place. You don't have any less willpower than anybody else, and you probably don't have a shortage of nutrition information either. What you might be missing, what most smart women are missing, is a clear plan of what they are going to do instead of turning to food or instead of overeating. There's a reason that you're overeating. So in the future, when that situation arises, what's your new plan going to be? Sitting on your hands won't work. What are you going to do instead to take care of those needs, to address that reason, so that food doesn't have the power that it currently has in your life? The question I just asked, that's your $1,000,000 question. It has the power to change everything. So what will you do instead? Will you check in with yourself and see if what you're feeling is really physical hunger? Will you take a break? Will you go for a walk? Will you honor the fact that you're exhausted and just go to bed? Here's what I want you to do right now, and I don't want you to overthink it. Take a look at what you know about the reasons that you're overeating and come up with one strategy, one thing that you can try instead. Do it now. Pick one situation where you tend to overeat and write down what you know about the reasons that you're overeating. And then I want you to pick a few things that you can try to do instead. It might be something like, in the afternoon when I get tired and irritable, instead of going to the vending machine between meetings, I'm going to step outside and just breathe some fresh air for 5 minutes. Be creative and keep it doable. You don't have to change the world. You just have to come up with one small thing that you can try to do in a specific situation instead of overeating. Here's something that might surprise you. The strategy that you come up with, it might not work out so well, and that's okay. The key here is to start asking the question, to start coming up with ideas of what you could do instead of automatically turning to food and to overeating. It's to be expected that sometimes the strategies won't work out as well as you want them to the first time or the second time that you try them. But did you know you can actually use the strategies that don't work to create more and better success and eventually to create peace with food? That's what I'm going to be covering in my next video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. In the meantime, don't skip this step. What are you going to try as an instead strategy? Write it down and leave it in the comments below.